Sometimes when I buy houses, or when you buy birdhouses from thrift stores or garage sales or whatever, they're made for just decorative purposes. So I put them outside so they can age a little bit and they fade a little bit in color and get to look a little bit more weathered. This particular one did fine out there. Broke off a little bit and got like this, but since I wasn't going to use it for that, it was okay. There was one piece that fell off that I need to repair because you're going to be able to see that, and I don't want to have to deal with that part of it. So I'm just going to hot glue this back on. Right here. That should take care of that part. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and put styrofoam in the bottom, because I'm just going to put some ivy in here for things to do. I buy my styrofoam, you can buy these blocks like this and they already come with sticky things on the bottom of them. Because I use it so much, I buy it in about 3-foot by 12-foot sheets. It works out better for me because I use a lot of it. What you see on the bottom of those is called Sure Stick. If you buy the block itself, it's got Sure Stick on it, but since I use so much, I just buy it by the roll. This is $5.50, but you can get it at any craft store, and you can tell I have special scissors that I use for it. So I'm just going to put a couple pieces on here. This is just so it sticks into the bottom of the birdhouse. If I can get that to go in. Oh, because it had a hole like a birdhouse, and because I didn't want you to be able to see the styrofoam, I went ahead and hot glued a little piece of wood on there that I just painted black, used a magic marker on it, just so that you wouldn't see what was inside. So because of the depth of this, I'm going to need one more piece. If you're making these for yourself, you don't always have to stick them together. Depends on where you're going to be putting them and how much use they're going to get. But it doesn't hurt to have them just as sturdy as you possibly can. Okay. So I've got it about this deep. You can put moss on this if you want to. Since I know what I'm putting in there and I know it's going to be covered, I'm not going to be worried about it too much. But if you did want to put some moss on there, just take some sphagnum moss. You can buy that at the garden shop or at the craft store. Fill it in so that you can't see the styrofoam. If you were making this for a friend or for someone like that, you would want to hide that part of it. So then that's what it looks like on the inside. This is obviously an already chopped up one, but this is what the ivy came looking like. Had one of these big sticks on it. Ivy is probably one of the few things that you can actually leave on this big piece because of the draping vines. But I went ahead and cut most of the pieces off so that I could put them in individually. However, I did keep the little short half because that's going to be my centerpiece anyway, and you won't see the big stem on it. So we're just pushing that through and placing it so that when you're through, even before you've added anything else, you've kind of got a house full, a little pot full of ivy. But since I want to cover up some of the damage and I want it to look more like an ivy, I'm going to go through and add some extra pieces to it. So you just put them down there, stick them into the styrofoam, bend them a little bit because plants hardly ever go perfectly straight out. I'm not worried about the fact that the roof is gone over here because it's supposed to look pretty rustic and it's going to look that way, so that's not a problem. So you just fill it up to where you've got the way you want it to look, shaping them as you want it to go. And sometimes they fight you. And pull some of these fuller leaves over from your large piece. I need to twist these a little bit. It's starting to look a little too uniform for me. On my other side, I think I'm going to have a larger piece. Fill it in. think I need a smaller piece. This is probably one of the simplest things, obviously, because you're just looking to, it's not like you're having to arrange flowers, you're just looking for a pleasing arrangement of the vines that you're putting in there. I like the fullness of this, but it doesn't need to be quite that long, so I'll just snip that off. And since this is going to be going inside the birdhouse anyway, I'm going to remove that leaf. So you play with it until it kind of starts looking like what you want it to look like. It's going to need a little bit more help on this side, I think. I need it to be a little bit fuller. So I'm going to go with something that's got a little bit more leaves on it. And then so roughly what we've got is we've got a pot that looks kind of like this. I might add a piece in the back. Just to give it a little bit of height back here. Again, bending these stems a little bit so they don't look so perfect. Then I've got my little mushroom bird. I think they're made out of mushrooms. That seems to be what they say. First off, before I put the glue on him, I have to figure out how he's going to sit. And I thought I would put him right here, so I see where that's going to be. Let my glue get too hot, so I need to clean some of that off of him. Also cleaned up my spider web from the glue. And there you go. We just have a little flower pot with a bird on it. Pretty easy to do. I'll probably go through and add just a few more filler pieces just to kind of make it a little bit fuller up here at the top, give it a little bit of height, but I know right where it's going to go.